Meaning of polygraph. Originally, the word polygraph is a combination of two Greek words, poly which means many and graphs which means writing a chart. Operationally, it is defined as an instrument especially designed to record psychophysiological changes that occur within the body of a person, especially when he is lying. Although modern polygraphs are now designed to detect several changes, most conventional polygraphs are capable of recording the following: blood pressure and pulse rate, respiration, perspiration, or galvanic skin resistance. The advent of computerized or digital polygraphs also ensured that aside from the above bodily changes recorded by analog polygraphs, the following are also detected by these modern instruments: thigh muscles tension, arm shoulder muscle tensions, feet movement. Also, it should be noted that polygraph instrument is not a lie detector. Per se, it does not indicate directly whether a subject is being deceptive or truthful. No non-psychological response is unique to deception. Instead, a polygraph examiner obtains a subject's responses to a carefully structured set of questions, and based on the patterns of arousal responses, infers the subject's veracity. This assessment has been called the diagnosis of truthfulness or deception. Meaning of polygraphy. It is the method of detecting deception with the aid of the polygraph instrument. It is administered by asking questions to the subject to the case under investigation.
Personalities in the development of deception detection and polygraph. Leonard Keeler, he developed the metal recording below in 1926. He also incorporated the hemograph and the rule chart paper. He used this development together with the cardio and pneumo component, developing the first polygraph instrument known today. Furthermore, he is also known as the father of polygraph. He devised the first structured test question. The question test made up using relevant question spread with irrelevant question, the R and I test. George Sticker. In 1897, he was one of the first to suggest the use of galvanic skin response (ADA) as an indicator of deception. Otto Viragot, he was the first to make word association tests using the galvanometer. The galvanometer was used to detect deception because of its ability to measure emotional disturbances. John Reed, he used Keeler's technique, and after testing numerous subjects, he found that in using the technique, he was getting too many inconclusive results and unacceptable error rate. Likewise, he developed a structured method using comparison question. Dick Arthur, he operated the National School of Lie Detection and developed his known lie and probable lie question technique and the guilt complex question. Mosso, an Italian scientist who in 1895 theorized that when in emotional stress or tension, blood would rush to the head. He built a delicately balanced board with a center fulcrum. A person lying on this board was placed under stress and blood would rush to his head, causing the board to tilt down at the head. Cesar Lombroso. In 1895, he used measurement of blood pressure changes during interrogation using a water pressure apparatus. This water pressure apparatus is known today as hydrosphygmograph. And Dr. William Marston, he established in 1915 the relevance of blood pressure changes in the systolic blood pressure. Dr. John Larson, he developed the first instrument to record simultaneously a person's blood pressure, pulse rate, and respiration changes. This is the first polygraph machine suitable for use in criminal investigation. Luigi Galvani, he was accorded the distinction for developing the galvanic skin reflex or the galvanometer, which record electrical bodily resistance regarding ohms, the lower current ever recorded. The GSR reflected emotional changes by measuring changes in person's skin resistance to electricity. Four major components of the analog polygraph: cardiograph or cardiosphygmograph. The cardiosphygmograph component is to record the changes in the blood pressure and pulse rate of the subject. It is composed of the blood pressure cuff assembly, a sphygmomanometer, vent and resonance control and recording unit. The blood pressure cuff assembly inflate the system and has connect the blood pressure cuff through which the blood pressure changes and pass into the recording unit. The sphygmomanometer indicates the air pressure present in the system in millimeters of mercury. The vent provides the means by which air in the system can be released. The resonance control provided the means for reducing or increasing the amount of air pressure to reach the camber unit and thus reduce or increase the amplitude of pen exertions. Centering control is provided for adjusting the tracing so that the blood pressure pattern would be on the guideline. The recording unit records the pulse rate and blood pressure changes on the chart paper through a 5-inch recording pen. Galvanograph. The galvanograph components records the skin resistance of the subject using a very small amount of electricity. It is composed of the finger electrode assembly, amplifier unit, and the galvanometer recorded unit. Galvanic skin resistance (GSR), a measure of physiological arousal determined by the amount of decrease in the skin resistance to electricity purportedly due to an increase in sweat gland activity. Pneumograph. The pneumograph components record the changes in breathing of the subject. It is made up of two units. The pneumograph assembly is composed of the rubber corrugated tube and beaded chain to tubing. The pneumograph tube is attached to the chest area of the subject and is locked by beaded chain. The pneumograph tube is around 10 inches long, one end of which is sealed and the other end is connected to the instrument by the rather thick-walled rubber tube, considerably in diameter than the pneumograph tube itself. The pneumograph convoluted tube expand and contract as the subject breathes. Chemograph. Chemograph component is a motor that pulls or drive the chart paper under the recording pen simultaneously at a rate of 6 or 12 inches per minute. It also has a chart or paper feed mechanism. The chart must travel at a uniform speed to facilitate valid interpretation. The parts composed of the paper guide rails, paper roller assembly with sprocket, chart feed with switch, AC power input connector, and all-volt GC synchronous motor. Chemograph is found only on the analog polygraph.
Chart or polygrams. Chart or polygrams is the composite record of the pneumograph, galvanograph, and cardiosphygmograph tracing recorded from one series of questions. It records the physiological changes or responses of a person. It's either in a form of paper or in a computer screen. Other parts of the analog polygraph machine. Pen lifter raises the lower pens to 3 positions. Program pacer, a programmable queuing device for question and answer pacing. Paper tier bar provides cutting edge for convenient removal of charts. Foam pen hold down keeps pen in place when the instrument is being transported. Compartment storage for all forms and supplies. It is slightly smaller in executive ultra square. Subject connections. Stylish grouping provides neat, professional appearance, facility setup, and storage. Mechanical pneumo module, recording part of mechanical pneumo channel. Galvanic skin response module, recording part of GSR channel. Mechanical cardio module, recording part of a mechanical cardio module. Paper storage compartment, holds 2 rolls of chart paper or other supplies. AC power receptacle, power cords connect here, international standard design for AC cord replacement. Power switch and circuit breaker, applies power to the instrument. Built-in resettable circuit breaker protects instrument and eliminates the need for fuses. To reset, simply press off and then on again. Chart drive roller lever, lift chart drive roller for paper changes and chart removal. Power analyzer, automatically indicates whether wall outlets are properly wired and grounded for proper instrument operation and subject safety. Stimulus marker, marks significant events on the chart. Sphygmomanometer dial, reads operating pressure of cardio channels. Pneumo 1, pneumatic connection for upper thoracic pneumograph. Pneumo 2, pneumatic connection for lower abdominal pneumograph. Cuff, pneumatic connection for cardio channel subject cuff tubing. Pump, pneumatic connection for hand pump used to inflate the subject cuff.
Mechanical cardio switch. This engages mechanical cardio module from the pneumatic system for a low-pressure electronic cardio operation. Types of polygraphs. There are two types of polygraph used by examiners. First is analog or conventional polygraph, and second is computerized polygraph. Analog or conventional polygraph is the first known type of polygraphs used in the field for many years. It used a complex box with a series of switches and dials, a roll of chart paper, and moving pens to record changes in physiological measurements. The examiner would then need to read all of these papers, recording which questions were asked when, in order to determine whether the noted changes indicated a lie. Problems with this system included ink shortage, paper tears, and discrepancies resulting from initial pen placement. It was invented in 1921 by John Augustus Larsen, a police officer and physiologist based in California. Next is computerized polygraph. Computerized polygraph is a modern polygraph that is administered through computers. It records, stores, and analyzes physiological changes during the examination. It uses programs to record and decipher all measurements on the portable computer screens. The system will usually have options to view test results on the screen or printed out and may have composite options with chart scoring as well. It allows signals to be displayed on computer monitors, which allows examiners to identify irregularities more efficiently and conveniently record the data. It still works with the same principles as the analog graph.
General uses of polygraph. First, criminal investigation. It is a valuable tool for investigation. It provides fast means of eliminating innocent suspects, gives a clue about the identity of criminal suspects, verifies the statement of those who are involved, and saves a lot of time and effort during the process of investigation. Polygraph tests are often used by law enforcement agencies during criminal investigations. They can be used to determine the truthfulness of suspects, witnesses, or victims. The results of polygraph tests can help investigators gather additional evidence or narrow down their focus. Second, pre-employment screening. It is the fastest and most accurate means of verifying the statements of job applicants from derogatory remarks by a previous employer who bears a personal grudge against him. It is the best way for a company to determine dishonest employees who are responsible for company losses. Some companies require job applicants to undergo polygraph examination before their employment. Some organizations use polygraph tests as part of their pre-employment screening process, especially for positions that require a higher level of trust of security clearance. This test can help employers assess the honesty and integrity of potential employees. Third, periodic screening. Even after employment, companies require their employees to undergo regular polygraph examinations. It is one way of detecting employees who are dishonest in performing their jobs. Polygraph tests may be used in workplace investigations to determine the truthfulness of employees involved in incidents such as theft, fraud, or misconduct. The results can assist employers in making informed decisions regarding disciplinary actions or termination. Fourth, promotion. There are instances wherein a company has difficulty in deciding between two or more candidates to be promoted. A polygraph test helps to determine who is the most qualified as well as employees' future intents against the company. It is important for organizations to follow fair and transparent process when considering employees for promotions. This includes assessing their performances, skills, and qualifications based on objective criteria and providing equal opportunities for all eligible employees. Theory of polygraph examination. When a mentally normal person tells a physiological change occurs with his body that could be recorded by the instrument and evaluated by the examiner. Based on the theory, the polygraph test contains relevant questions which are designed to pose a threat to the security of the guilty subject and control questions which are intended to pose a threat to the security of the innocent, truthful subject. A person's fears, anxieties, and apprehension are channeled towards the situation which holds the greatest threat to his self-preservation or general well-being. The theory behind polygraph examination is based on the understanding that when a mentally normal person tells a lie, there is a physiological response within their body that can be measured and evaluated by the polygraph instrument. This response is believed to be caused by the person's fears, anxieties, and apprehension about the potential consequences of their deception.
The psychology of lying. Lying from hedonistic nature of human that to avoid pain and to increase pleasure. It can be also seen that we lie not only for personal gains but also for other gains too. That is avoid harm affecting ourselves and avoid hurting others. The nervous system. Deception detection has significant connection with the nervous system. The autonomic nervous system, which controls our involuntary function like heart rate and perpetration often reacts with we lie. This is because lying typically induces a stress response changes in heart rate, blood pressures, and breathing rate. This psychological challenge can be measured by instruments like a polygraph lie detector. However, it's crucial to note that using the automatic nervous system as an indirect measure of deception includes stress and sometimes lead to false positive or negatives. This is because various factors including certain disease or conduction can affect the automatic nervous system and thus to the result of success.